There are many places in this world that may seem ordinary and harmless at first glance, but within them are hidden secrets and terrifying tales that reveal their true nature. One such place is on the edge of a small village, where an old and deserted alley has instilled fear in the hearts of the villagers. During the day, the alley looks normal, but as soon as night falls, the alley seems to come alive. There are no humans in this alley, but its atmosphere, the old buildings, and the mysterious inscriptions on the walls tell a frightening story that has haunted people for centuries. The shadow of the Desolate Alley is one such tale, where every brick and wall of the alley reveals its hidden mysteries. This is the story of a shadow that roams the alley in the darkness of night, as if searching for something. On the edge of a small village, there was an old and deserted alley about which the villagers whispered strange and eerie tales. They said that there was something in the alley that pulled anyone who entered into its depths. During the day, the alley seemed ordinary, old and deserted, but at night, when silence blanketed everything, the alley seemed to come alive. At night, those who stood at the edge of the alley always felt a strange chill, as if someone was watching them. As soon as one stepped into the alley, the ground seemed to tremble slightly, and the wind whispered mysterious words into their ears. On either side of the alley, there were old and dilapidated buildings, with windows and doors that seemed to always be waiting for someone. The walls of these buildings bore old and fading inscriptions, written in a long-forgotten language. At night, the sound of footsteps echoed through the alley, but when one looked around, no one was there. The cobblestones of the alley were stained with old blood marks that didn't wash away, even after rain. These stains testified to something horrific that had happened in the alley, but no one knew what it was. One night, when the moon was shining brightly in the sky, a shadow began to emerge from one corner of the alley. It was the shape of a human figure, but its body was faint and indistinct. The shadow slowly advanced into the alley, as if walking, but there was no sound. The shadow touched every wall, moved close to every door, leaving an invisible pressure in its wake. The shadow stopped in the middle of the alley, and suddenly strange whispers filled the air, as if some unseen force was conversing. The old inscriptions on the walls seemed to come to life, and smoke began to rise from them. The ground of the alley seemed to tremble, and the shadow became clearer. Now the shadow was fully visible, but its form kept changing. Sometimes it appeared as an old man, sometimes as a young woman, and sometimes as a child. With each transformation, the buildings in the alley would shake, and their doors would slowly creak open and shut. The shadow finally reached the end of the alley, near an old and half-ruined building. This building was considered the most mysterious place in the village. The shadow entered the building, and suddenly everything in the alley became silent. It was as if the shadow had been absorbed into the building, and once again, a deathly silence descended upon the alley. But after that night, the villagers said that a new mystery had emerged in the alley. The shadow that appeared there had now become a permanent part of the alley. At night, when the wind blows, the doors of the alley's buildings begin to open and close on their own, and the shadow roams the alley every night, as if searching for something.